All right, we're good to go.
All right, good. Thank you. It looks like we are recording and live. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Highway Parks and Recreation Committee meeting. We're going to start with approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
A second?
I second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, great. The minutes are approved. Probably should take attendance. It wasn't part of on the agenda, but I just remembered we should do that.
Okay, let me start. We have Linda O'Brien, Alexis Kim, Ismat Alam. Welcome to your first meeting.
Looking forward to it.
Janet Nguyen, Matt Yetto, Bill Lawrence, Rosemarie Jakewith, Paul Briggs, Pete Ravicka, Ray Smith, Stan Thiminski, and Yasmin Syed. Have I missed anyone? There was someone with a phone number ending in 17.
Yes, that's Josh Hawley.
Okay, thanks, Josh.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're good to go.
Okay, good morning again, everyone, and welcome, Ismat. Thank you for joining us. We're so excited to have you with us, and we look forward to working with you for many, many years. I'd also like to say thank you very much to Janet, who continues to be an incredibly valuable asset, has worked with us over the past few months. And Janet, thank you so much for your support and your continued, work on behalf of the town. All right, we're gonna go right into highway and parks items, and we'll start with Ray. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning.
How are you on this rainy day, Ray? You feeling blue?
Same as usual. We'll start with water breaks, 4 related water breaks repairs for a bill of $1,200. And the bill was attached. Number 4, drainage Regent and Plum update. We were able to put in the angled pipe at the intersection of Myron Street to relieve the 90-degree angle of the water. And we have since adjusted some restrictor plates. They're finishing them up today, further up to try to relieve some of the flow. So we're hoping between the two, and we're also looking at some additional, the basins are in poor condition. On the rest of the block, we're looking right now, we have locations called in to possibly upgrade some of them and complete that project.
Can I jump in here and just say that Ray and his crew worked many, many days, many long hours to address this long-standing issue for residents in that area. There was a serious flooding issue, and again, it's not completely fixed, but boy, did they put a lot of time and effort in working to alleviate this somewhat. So I know the residents are really grateful, and it's incredible the amount of skill and great equipment, but mostly the skill that you guys have to serve our residents. So thank you again for that, Ray, and thank you guys. They did a tremendous job.
Thank you. Number 5 is the purchase of a trailer for use in the highway department. I discussed this last month. The one that we did have that we had looked at and spec'd out was no longer available to us. They currently have one. We've talked to them. They're willing to hold it until the finance meeting. The price of that trailer would be $7,311, and that would need a finance approval. I can get that quote up to Alexis to move forward if we choose to do so, and then I can give them an answer.
Ray, maybe we could talk about it today at budget meeting, just so Isma and Janet are up on, why you're looking at this, where the need is, and what the plan is for paying for it. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Ah.
Number 6, Lions Park. The shingle roof on the building is failing, all curled up and leaking. We've had people call about the ceiling leaking after rainstorms. Charlie and Ronnie both have gone down there and tarred it up and patched it to get us through the next few months, but it will definitely not weather another winter. So we went and got prices for a steel roof. We have money in the park's maintenance budget that we can do that. It'll be about $1,800, and our crews will install that. So there's no action needed there for doing that. We're moving forward, so I'll be ordering the material probably by the end of this week.
Okay, and again, as you noted, this is something that you guys can do yourselves, so it's just the material costs.
Correct.
Great, thank you.
Paving update, number 7. Due to last week's rain and this week's rain, every time it rains, we get pushed back a little bit. So I've attached a paving list on the agenda. So number 14, starting at Stark Avenue, to number 26, which ends at Milton Keynes, will be the next round of roads. We're scheduled tentatively right now for the week of September 12th to complete all them roads. And I'd just like to, our crews have been out there working hard. Hundreds of basins that we've redone. Water and sewer's been right there with us. I have to give them a shout out for, they've done a lot of work themselves, been very good in a time manner. So I'd just like to give those doing the work the credit that they deserve. So
Absolutely.
I think at this point in time, it would be safe to say that the last group of roads on this list, 27 through 32, will be put on hold until next year. We still have a huge project on the Lock 7 to do. The time frame of the landscaping and all the things that needed to be done in association with this work still has to get done before fall leaf season. This was a very aggressive list to start out with. We had high hopes, and actually with the pandemic and the way that we have to work now, I'm actually impressed that we got as much done as we have. Not to say that we even have all our resident request lists here that, we do hit and miss. We really need to take that month of October to really hammer down on that stuff rather than take on more at this point. I just feel it's the best decision to, upon finishing these last 2 groups, to kind of pull a plug on that. Number 8, personnel. I just keep this on there. We still have 1 employee out on workers' comp. The latest worker replacement in the parks grounds worker, was past the end of last month. He's in the process of doing his pre-employment screening, physical, and all the paperwork needed, and we're looking forward to him starting quite soon. The 2 previous workers, Molly and Nick, are working out very well. Glad to have them aboard, and very thankful for making our department whole again. Number 11, the maintenance van. The van has been ordered after the approval of the last town board meeting. We should have it in our possession probably within the next 2 weeks. probably about a week to do the upfitting here, the radio, identification on it, and all that stuff. So we're hoping to have that on the road and in the maintenance department by the end of September is our goal. Number 12, Town Hall lock system, Technical Building Services, TBS, has updated their proposal. It was more changing the dates and extending the quote. The previous contracts that were reviewed, the numbers all stayed the same. It was just a cleanup of the date in which that we could accept it.
Yeah, I had a question about that actually, and I was going to take that up with Alexis. The number I had noted from the prior approval was different than what I saw on the quote. Is that right, Alexis, or am I wrong about that?
I think the number on the second quote, the one that's attached to the packet, is inclusive in its sum of the elevator, which was also listed on option 1. It just was listed as a separate amount.
I see. Okay. All right. Because I thought the overall number had changed. And just to give Ismat some background, we've been trying to get an updated security system at the town hall building that includes the elevator, down to the police area for some time now. So it's a safety, security issue that's been pending for longer than it should have been pending. We got different proposals. The recommendation came from public safety to go with TBS versus, was it Stanley or Sonatrol? I can't remember which it was. And we went with the one that was slightly more overall, but does not have a monthly monitoring requirement. So, we anticipated that would continue to go up, the price of that monthly monitoring. Plus this system lets us tap into, cameras and make other connections. It's a better system for the future. So we can brief you if you need some more information on that, but it had been approved, but we needed to update the proposal. Ray, when do we think we can move forward with that overdue installation?
I believe when Charlie spoke with him about the updated quote, there's some equipment that needs to be ordered and stuff like that. I'm believing they'll move on it immediately upon approval.
Okay. Again, it had been approved at the last round of meetings. It just didn't make the town board agenda the last time. Also, we needed to get an updated proposal. So, all right, we'll move forward with that. Thank you, Ray. Go ahead.
You're welcome. Number 13, speed signs. The additional signs that the town ordered are in. They're in my possession at the highway. We have not been able to uncrate them and get them set up yet with the amount of work that we have going on right now. I did receive one request from Fran. I've been in contact with Fran and to move one of the current signs that we have out. And we will do that as soon as I can free my guy up to get that moved. And in that same time period, we'll uncrate these 4, get them set up, get them charged up, and then ready for deployment on that.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray.
Go ahead.
Sorry, you can go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Just so if you don't think you're going to be able to get to them for a month because of all of the paving and Lock 7, just let me know, because we have a 1-year subscription that I believe started upon delivery for this kind of expensive cloud software, and I can ask the vendor who I worked with if he can maybe delay starting that 1-year subscription until in light of COVID and workforce reductions, etc.
Okay, thank you. I'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, number 14, Schenectady County funded park improvements. We have got some pricing on some benches, some picnic tables. We have reached out to the company that does the surface treatments to our courts and facilities. They hope to be around within the next couple of weeks to give me an evaluation on all of the courts and a price associated with doing those such improvements, which I then will bring to the committee for the best suited for the amount of money we have. So,
Janet, I asked sent you an email yesterday about that money. Did you get that?
What email, Rosemary? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
What email?
Sorry,
What
I don't know if it's your volume or the volume of rain pounding on my skylight that I can't hear you. Oh, what email? So I sent an email yesterday about the county funds and whether we had, received them.
Yeah, I was unable to look that up yesterday. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
After our meetings, I went to bed. I'll look it up this morning and I will email you and let you know.
Okay, no worries. It's just related to this. All right, thank you. I hope you're feeling better.
I'm getting there, thanks.
Okay, Ray, sorry. We're on to 15.
all right, number 15, Lock 7 work. I was down there yesterday. They have some stuff formed up for the culvert replacement. Lock 7, beyond the bike path, it remains closed for the Canal Corp to do their work. So I would be guessing that, it looks to me like they're still pretty much on target for completion about the second week. I don't know if the weather will hinder them or not, but so I'm guessing within the month of September, between them and between us, Lot 7 should be buttoned up and complete.
Great. Long time coming. Thanks.
Yep. Number 16, I guess that would be Alexis.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is basketball organization we worked with over the summer for using Avon Crest basketball courts. They're interested in using the basketball courts located at Blatnick Park for 4 Sundays beginning September 12th, just in the mornings, 9 to 11:30. So they were we have to enter into a new license agreement just because the premises defined in the existing license agreement is limited to Avon Crest. So this would be a license agreement that we would ask the town board to retroactively approve, given that the term of the license agreement is so short and it would begin prior to the September 22nd regular meeting. So I'm drafting that now.
So thank you for that. And Alexis, we've been able to, enter actually into a handful of licensing agreements this summer. It's been nice to have the additional revenue for sure. We've lost, pavilion revenue and of course, some of our program revenue. So having these additional licensing agreements in place for our outdoor space has been great. And those spaces have been in high demand, given the circumstances. So again, Alexis, I know you've worked on a number of those and thank you for that. Okay, we're going to move on to Tree Council and Complete Streets from Laura. Good morning, Laura. Oh, she's not in her screen. Laura? All right, while we're waiting for Laura to come back, I'm going to move on to item 19, just give everybody an update on the farmers market. We're 7 weeks in, so this weekend will be our 8th week. We're running it for 10 weeks through September 19th. It was the second year, just so Isman has some background. It's the second year we've done it. The first year we only had like 3 weekends, I believe, and we did it over at the Niskuna Co-op in the parking lot by the co-op. It's in partnership with the co-op and other community partners. We moved it to Town Hall for social distancing purposes this summer. Also in anticipation of one of the items that Laura's going to speak about, the Knott Street Improvement Project, which will start, it's a county project. It should start in spring 2021, and it will disrupt the area in and around the co-op. So we anticipated next year not being able to hold the farmers market at the co-op parking lot regardless. So this year we did a town hall. Everyone's been very pleased. The vendors like the space. The residents like the ability to walk around a little bit. Hopefully next year, out of post-COVID, we'll be able to, expand the market even more, maybe even have some entertainment or some other options that we're not able to do this year under the circumstances. But if you haven't checked it out, please check it out. I'd like to thank continuously the Highway Department for keeping, the lawn space beautiful, the police department for setting up all the cones and parameters. It's been a great partnership, and we're very thankful. Our residents really appreciate it. So,
I've heard wonderful things about it. I've heard really, really good, wonderful things about it. So I'm so looking forward to going there and buying stuff.
yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, it's great. Thank you so much, Isma. You will enjoy it. It'll be good. Our police officers have been coming periodically. They'll be here this Saturday, I believe. They're doing sort of like coffee with a cop. It's an opportunity to meet and speak with residents, and Chief Wall's, been there regularly, a regular presence, and people appreciate the fact that they could come and speak with her, and the other officers have been great too. So yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you there, Isma.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks. Laura, I skipped over 17 and 18. If you're ready.
Oh, sorry. I have my septic installers knock on my door.
Oh, my.
Because they don't want to work right now.
Go figure. Go figure.
That's fine with me. Okay, so Complete Streets is working on, they're doing, I think we talked about this before, a survey to residents, which we've almost finished in FormStack, and we're shooting for like sending it out probably around Friday. We got a pretty big packet of comments, of the Niskayuna school facility upgrades for Seeker. And so we've just kind of redlined them for some of the pedestrian connections that we've talked about. And we're just going to put that packet together, probably just run it past, the town board to make sure everybody's on the same page with the connections that we've talked about for, sort of oodles and oodles of time. And then send that back to the engineer. I've already talked to him a couple times about this process, and they're very open. And then they're still working on the critical pedestrian grant with the county, and we'll probably be doing some pedestrian and bicycle counts in support of what the county wants there. So probably like over on St. Joseph's and on Knott Street, they're looking at doing some pedestrian counts and setting up some times for that. And then I know you texted me last night and you were like, where's the Knott Street thing? And I was like, it's still on there. So they're in support of that. And we talked about maybe this fall doing some kind of, temporary treatments that people can drive through over there to see if they like it.
Great. No, thanks. Yeah, I just thought we better keep it on the agenda just as a reminder. So it's okay. We got some time. Just keeping it on there so we know that it's coming.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Laura.
Did
you have anything else? What's that?
I'm sorry, I don't have the agenda up. Is Tree Council on there too? Or is that later?
Yes, Tree Council's on there. Yeah.
Okay. And then Tree Council, Ray and I have been just kind of touching base. We have 20 elm trees coming, I think September 20th, that we're going to try and put at Blatnick Park. As far as tree planting, because we did so much in the spring, we're just doing just kind of minimal things where we're pulling smaller trees and popping in newer ones where we can. So it's not so much dig safe and asking residents and stuff. We're just going to go around and kind of just touch up some of the stuff that we put in that suffered from the kind of extreme weather that we had this summer. And then we're thinking that the upgrades to the Blatnick Park sign would probably be like late October, when we would go in there and start working on that.
Right. I remember some discussion about that previously. So great. Yeah, I had Tree Council and Complete Streets and then Knott Street. That was it.
Okay.
It was short and sweet. Thanks, Laura.
No worries.
All right. We're going to move on to the recreation component. Lori.
All right. For our September events, our main focus is our fall fun run, which we're doing virtually this year. We had 46 registrants, which I am beyond thrilled because I had no idea how many people would actually participate. And I've been getting a lot of great feedback from the people that did register, just thanking us for keeping this program going. So I'm beyond thrilled.
Lori,
registration.
Sorry. Just as a point of comparison, I know it's completely different, but what did we do in terms of registrations last year?
You know what, we did runners. We probably had 125. So I really don't think in comparison, it's really that bad. We are missing the Dash Kids and the 1 mile, but that wasn't something we could tackle. So yeah, I'm thrilled.
That's good.
Registration. Yeah, we closed, I bumped registration, the closure back a day to accommodate a couple last minute people, and ordered the shirts yesterday. So we are hoping to have the shirts in time for maybe a table at the last farmer's market, if you don't mind, if we could do a packet pickup. Okay, great. That'd be great. Yeah, we were going to do a packet pickup and then kind of maybe get some more people to attend the farmer's market. So I'm kind of thrilled about that.
Yeah, that's again, that's September 19th.
19th, yep. And so the people are going to be running the race anywhere between September 12th and the 19th, and then logging their time, and everything will be posted on the following Monday on our website. We are still waiting for the blow up screen and everything from our grant from the Niskayuna Community Foundation, but I've been getting emails that they're on their way. So we're hoping to schedule a movie night here at Town Hall on the 25th of September. That, of course, is tentative depending on whether or not all the items come in, but that's something we're shooting for. We wanted to be able to at least get a couple of them in and make good use of the items we received with our grant money. So I'll keep you guys posted on that, the date and the movie that we've chosen.
September, we usually have good weather, so it's a good time to get in.
Exactly. And you know, it's nice. You can cuddle up with a blanket on the lawn. It gets darker earlier, so it'll be nice. And for our October events, Adult Tai Chi would like to start back up again. I spoke with Alexis, and the instructor has submitted all of his protocol, how he's going to handle with sanitation and social distancing. All the participants are going to be wearing masks. So we're hoping to start that back up again in October. I just wanted to, before I put it on the website for registration, I just wanted to make sure everybody's on board with it. We think it's good? Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like our is nodding yes.
Yeah, awesome. And then we're hoping in early October to do one more movie night. It's still not too cold, but we're looking at October 9th. So that also is tentative.
Lori, can we make sure when we do these movie nights that we, again, give another plug to the Niskayuna Community Foundation? Oh. Yeah, not only in our advertisement, but like at the actual event as well. Okay. Great.
Without a doubt. Yep.
Right,
of
great.
Course.
Thank you.
And then we're hoping that we could do a pumpkin painting event here at maybe a Blatnick or Town Hall. We were going to have people register. Kids can come. We would provide the pumpkin for a fee and the paints, and they would just paint a pumpkin, and maybe we'd have some other crafts involved. We just wanted to, because our programs were so limited over this summer, we kind of wanted to add whatever we could into the fall. So that's still on the table. And then we're looking at our Halloween parade. We still want to keep it going, but we are going to modify it a little. There won't be any donuts and cider handed out, but possibly just bags of candy. And then I was speaking with Denise, because this is her baby and it's awesome that she brought it to us, that maybe we would add like a pet costume contest. So there's a couple little ideas going, but as soon as we get those worked out, we'll do a flyer and blast it on the website.
Great, thank you.
And then next we have a salary increase for one of our kitchen staff. Linda's going to touch on this shortly, but we've revamped for now the kitchen procedure, and there's no meals being served. But one of the workers has been very helpful with Linda with cleaning and helping do a number of tasks. And he's making below minimum wage. And I'd like to bring him up to at least minimum wage, if that's possible. I mean,
so for the context too, Lori, we've lost staff, right? So
exactly.
Yeah, so how many staff members did we lose?
We lost two other. Well, Ken was a helper in the kitchen as well. He retired. He was 90. And Ann, who was the cook, because we're not cooking meals, is no longer working for us. So we've lost two. And Ken, Vito, has stayed around and has been extremely helpful. He's been the manpower there and has been a huge help to the girls.
Okay, just so Ismet has context in terms of staffing. Okay, thank you, Lori.
You're welcome. And my last one was resolution for the month would be for a couple of senior bus drivers. We've had about 5 people interested. So we'd like to put 3 of them on a resolution. 1 is a main bus driver, 2 is backup. So we're not going to have any more issues going forward. Bob, the current bus driver, who was wonderful and jumped in to help, just wants to do trips. So we want to get these people on a resolution, get them through civil service with their packets, and get them working so Bob can have a break.
Okay, and let me give some context to this as well. We lost our bus driver in, as I recall, in the spring, right, Lori?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Right as COVID was hitting, and we continued, even though we shut down services at the senior center, we were still helping our seniors get to appointments, helping them with groceries, helping with errands, and we really had an issue. We had to call back someone who had helped us, who had retired or had worked for us before, but he's been doing all of it, and we've been feverishly searching for additional drivers to help us, again, service our seniors. So that's what this is about. I'm glad to see, because we've struggled to find one. It's nice, as you said, to have a number of them that we can call on to drive the bus. So thank you. That's great news.
And there are a number of very qualified individuals, so we're thrilled.
Great. Thanks.
And, I think that's it.
Okay, then I think we're on to the senior program. Linda, you're with us, right?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you, Lori, for all of that, because it is. Our driver is key to our program, and he goes well beyond just bringing people to and from. He really has been a lifeline through this whole COVID crazy period. And he knows the program so well and the people so well, so that's what makes him so valuable. Vito is absolutely, he's not a helper, he's not a volunteer, he's a full-on worker, and he has really also gone above and beyond. He really surprises us at how much he handles for us. And as I'll talk about a little bit later, but we did have a boxed lunch yesterday, and we couldn't have done it without him. So thank you very much for all of your support with that. So right now we are open, and we're pretty much back to our Tuesday and Thursday programs. The schedules are a little different. Some of the events are a little different, but we are averaging between 10 and 15 people. And then yesterday we had over 18 people there. We have some of the things that are coming up. Tom's computer class continues. He comes in first and third Tuesday of the month, and he has had a couple of visitors. We have right now just been doing coffee service, and Vito serves that so that there's no self-serve. It cuts down on the contact, and that's been working out very well. People are very appreciative. We have our own Bill Lawrence trio scheduled for Wednesday 9/9 at the Pavilion, and we're thrilled to be bringing that bringing them back. That's sponsored by Blue Shield, Northeast New York. We also have 2 separate occasions where guest organizations have offered us box lunches to seniors. The first was yesterday. The next one is Thursday, the 18th. It was a good dry run for us because we've not done this before, and you have to think through receiving people. Anybody who walks into the center has to go through the protocol, temperature checks, questions, blah, blah, blah. But then we were able to offer a drive-through component, and that actually helped us a lot. And people, and folks like that as well. So we were kind of doing a dry run, and I think we figured it out, not only for the 18th, because our guest from the county, and she's bringing 30 box lunches that day as well. But we also got a call. We followed up with CDPHP, and they got back to us and have offered us 100 free box lunches every Tuesday for the month of September, which is huge. So we're thinking through that, and I think we have the process kind of set up for next Tuesday. And I mean, it's a great, both of the box lunches that we've advertised for yesterday and the 18th were completely sold out, and we had a waiting list. So I can only imagine the 100 box lunches from CDPHP will just be very successful. I'm a little nervous. Can you tell? I don't even know what to do. So no, we'll be fine.
That's really great. Linda,
Yeah.
I know we talked early on about potential vendors. Did we try out any of the potential vendors? Okay.
I've been making a lot of phone calls and kind of running kind of the sanity check with Lisa and Lori. And so what we're doing is we're collecting all the pieces and parts so that we can put together a picture for you that works with the budget numbers that we know to be true. And we're also doing it with a calendar in mind, so that this is like a 12-month snapshot of what this will look like.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's very exciting. And I bet the seniors have been very appreciative, not only of the food, but just of the socializing, right? Because I know that's always been the focus, is getting the lack of socialization, the lack of contact. To have that back is really important.
It really is. And we're hearing that there aren't a lot of people who have really gone out and tried this, or, figured out how to do it. And so we're very respectful. We're very cautious. We really try and keep everybody, doing what we need to do so that we can continue to operate safely. And knock on wood, the socialization is huge. It just floors me. I mean, they come in just like you could set your watch by it. And we have probably 3 tables now of card players, and then they'll play to like a noon or so, and then they divvy up. And if they want to bring a lunch, or if we're providing lunch, then they know to separate, and we put 2 to an 8 top. So I'm really pleasantly and surprised and just relieved and very happy about it. So, because the socialization part is huge. I mean, we're having a hard time making phone calls now, because once the program goes online, that's where your attention has to be. So, but we still reach out to people when we hear something, or if we think we haven't seen or heard from some of our members, and we'll pick up the phone and tag them real quick just to make sure things are okay.
Yeah, and I've said it before, but I'll keep saying it. You've all done a tremendous job, both between the recreation program and making sure our kids had some activities this summer that they wouldn't have otherwise have had, and the senior center staff has just done a tremendous job in keeping in contact with our seniors when they weren't able to be physically in contact. And I think that's probably facilitated the easy return, et cetera. But you've all done, gone above and beyond, done a tremendous job. So thank you all for your efforts.
Thank you. Thank you for your support. We have been getting requests about when are we going to get back to our exercise and such on site. So we're currently looking at preparing for indoor bocce, chair yoga, and Tai Chi, as they require the least amount of exertion and risk. So we're approaching this carefully. We're following protocol. We're working with Charlie. He's got the pretty much set for the lower level. He's going to work on the upper level, just so that we're ready for exercise with winter weather, because then you're not going to be opening up windows a whole lot or as much. And then we do have, some people, like we had painting with Peggy, and she came on site. She was fine. She had a great class. We have another woman, Catherine. She's our friend from Schenectady County, and she's doing an aromatherapy on site, 9/24. So that's exciting. And then, of course, we had most recently the call from CDPHP. So and they're the ones providing the lunches each Tuesday of September. Anne came in, and she kind of went through and she collected a lot of the stuff, or anything that she had brought in of her own. There wasn't any confusion. It went along very smoothly, so we were happy about that. We have had we did talk about putting forth a resolution honoring Ken and Ann both, just for their service for us for all those years. I mean, they've been there prior to me coming on. So I just let me know what we need to do or how we go about that. I'm not as familiar with that.
Yeah, Alexis can let you know what you need for a ceremonial resolution, but we should be able to do that. That'd be great.
Okay, great. And then the last thing was we had talked about looking into a van, which would also give us greater flexibility with transportation issues for our seniors. And that also helps too, because we have parking lot constraints. So, you know, having that, it just gives us room to move. It's kind of ebb and flow, getting people there. So I was going to talk to Ray about that. We've been so focused on the food that we haven't really had a chance to look at that. But there is some modifications that would have to be done for disabled or, you know, like just seniors in general, as far as stepping up into a van, so on and so forth. Clifton Park currently has a van, and theirs was retrofitted with a lift. So Ray, if it's okay, can you just tell me how you want me to reach out, and I will, and we can have a conversation about that. We'll do whatever we can to help move this along.
Yeah, that's fine. I think the more information we have, the better, the better it'll work out for us, knowing if it's working for them and how good it is.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so we got that information from Janet. Janet got that from the Clifton Park folks, because we were concerned when we were struggling to find a driver. Part of the issue was you need, for our current bus, you need a CDL.
Yeah.
The van would enable anyone, so including, you know, any staff to drive the van at any time. The issue was, and also the operation of the van, you know, gas, et cetera, and for shorter trips and things like that might be more economical. However, you know, it has to be a van that our folks can get in and out of, which is not as easy as getting in and out of a bus. So
Right.
Janet reached out and got some information about Clifton Park. And I remember in the spring, we were also talking about using the bus or the van for advertisement purposes, for paid advertisement.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so again, to sort of an additional revenue / offset of the cost. And so I think, again, there were some, as I recall, I don't know if it was an insurance company or if it was one of the, does anybody recall who had approached us in the spring about doing that? And we were going to sort of just do some outright. And I think Clifton Park does that. So I think that's something to explore regardless in terms of pure revenue, whether we put it on the bus, the van, whatever we do. I think it's another source of revenue that we should definitely take
That
advantage.
would be great. Lisa has already made contact with them before the COVID hit, and so we're ready to. We can, you know, pull that back out and get that conversation going again once we have a vehicle. So
yeah.
Sure.
Well, again, I think it could go on the bus. Although again, I know that's also sort of, as I recall from a conversation with Ray, that is something that maybe we need to replace as well. So again, the replacement of that might be the van, or we'll have to have that conversation in the context of the budget also. So, all right, thank you. Did you have anything else?
no, how, with the matter of bringing Vito up to minimum wage, how does that transition, or how do we know when that's official, and who has that conversation with him, I guess is my question.
So we'll have a conversation with our, you know, with our comptroller staff about that. Lori, I assume will have, you know, we'll be able to identify who the staff member is. We'll have the data on what he's currently making and what the proposal is. Maybe we can even talk about it today at our budget conversation, Lori and Isma and Janet. So then we'll, you know, it'll trickle back to you. Okay. All right.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Linda. Anything else?
No.
Okay. We're on to the open discussion. Is there any open discussion? Yasmin, did you have anything?
I could give a very brief addition to your farmers market update. We did have a conversation, the committee, last Friday, and we were considering extending the season. So it's a good problem to have. We had so many interested vendors. They had a fantastic season. So though it was a consideration, and we did want to do it with respect to COVID and just timing and trying to factor in what that additional cost would be, we ultimately decided that we would wait until next year and roll out next year as potentially a longer market, so longer than 10 weekends potentially. So that's something we will keep as a note to discuss next year. But again, good problem to have. The farmers market was just so tremendously successful this year. So thank you to everybody who brought that to fruition.
Yeah, thanks, Yasmin. Yeah, and I think there was some conversation also about if there were some vendors that wanted to go further into the season, that there could be like a different payment structure, right, in terms of the overall payment by vendors for the season.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. That we could do, we could break it up into 2 blocks and have, season 1, season 2, or part 1, part 2.
Right. And then we had already, as you noted, we started off, going from 3 weekends to 10 was a big jump this year. So,
yeah.
And then the payment structure we had set up, well, now we have some experience with it. We'll be able to reevaluate that. And if we want to explore some differences next year, we can build that into whatever we come up with for a plan. Okay, great. Thank you, Yasmin. Did you have anything else?
This is Alexis. Oh, sorry, Janet, you can go ahead.
I just have a quick question. Ray, did you want me to put a placeholder for the trailer on for finance, or do you not think you'll have information for that by Tuesday?
Yes, I have that, Janet. Can I drop it up to your office?
I'm working remotely this week because I'm sick. So if you could actually have Patty maybe scan it and email it to me,
sure.
I'll put it on finance for you.
Okay, and that money's in my budget, so no transfers needed or anything. It just will come out of the equipment line.
Is it general fund or highway?
No, this is highway.
Highway. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll give that to you.
Alexis, did you?
Oh yeah, I was just looking at the minutes from August, and if you recall, a gentleman had done a presentation back in July on the Biodiversity Initiative, and then we spoke about it. Laura gave an update last meeting. Laura, I don't know if you want to jump in, but I know that we had been sent the proposal regarding the leaflet, basically, that would be going out to people living in the Catherine Woods neighborhood off of River Road. I don't know if you want that to go through this committee for approval before it gets sent out on town letterhead, but I've reviewed it. I haven't sent back any feedback yet. Laura, I don't know if you have an ETA of where that's at. Is Laura on mute?
We can't hear you, Laura.
Sorry. Yeah, I actually changed that quite a bit. I don't know. All of a sudden, all of my screens changed. And I had meant to email you and Rosemary, last night, but I went to bed. But this is the map that I made. Where is my... Sorry, guys. Computer's being so weird. Let me find it. Hold on. So I changed, it's up to you. I changed the letter and well, let me just highlight it. Sorry. Do you guys have like 5 seconds? I'm just going to reconnect to my computer. I separated it into 2 screens and then for whatever reason lost one. Okay. So let me try this again.
Laura, while you're doing that, quick question. Is this something that, maybe you could go through Councilman Delarada's committee because he's the one who oversees the climate smart community task force, but is this something we can get points for that?
Potentially, yeah. So it just says like, dear residents, we're currently exploring a Lomo pollinator habitat initiative, working with the CAC, that we will continue to mow a walking path for residents through this area, but the area would be allowed to grow longer and only mowed once a year in the fall. Lomo area fills in naturally, creating a more, biodiverse ecosystem and supports pollinators and songbirds that require early successional habitat in meadows. And then we still have to work on these markers, but the boundaries of the Lomo area will be clearly marked. We want to get the community input from the town residents, especially those directly adjacent. And then I've got my contact information in there. And then I was just letting them know that the CAC would be reaching out over the course of the next few weeks to speak with them using proper social distancing procedures in their front yard or within the park area to listen to their thoughts. And then this is partly why it wasn't done. I was thinking it might be helpful to put like in places where they could kind of research these kind of initiatives and just give them some links if they're interested in reading further. So that part's not done.
Yeah, I love that part. And I do think the actually going, door to door, just from a distance is important, because not everyone's going to read what is sent, and then they're going to start seeing this. They're going to, so I think it's important to make sure we've reached personally as many people as possible, so they're not, if we go forward, they're not surprised, even though we've sent this letter. I think the contact.
Yeah. So this letter's like, it's like the letter would be like the initial outreach, but then that would be so people hopefully weren't like, what are you doing here? I don't really know who you are. I don't believe you.
Right.
That story is right now that there's a lot of fun. Anyway, so and then this would be the map that we'd attach. And so I put, here's the driving range, here's all the homes. These are kind of the areas where we would put the signs, so that as you're walking along, the area is kind of bounded with these. And I think they'll be, really nice looking signs explaining everything. So put them on the edges here, put them on the edges here, mow the walking path here.
Laura, would we be able to include like a sample looking sign? I think that might help too.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. If we do that, it's going to take just a smidge bit longer, but the more that it's put together, probably the more comfortable people will be with it. So yeah, we could definitely add in what the sign is going to look like.
Yeah, I think you're right. The more, more of it put together, the more of it's like, this is a real thing. It's been well thought out, well planned, and then here's the package.
Well, and Ray, do you know offhand, I was thinking that it would be nicer to have the metal signs than if we like laminate something or something. I mean, obviously, if the cost difference is like exponential, then we would just have to do what we have to do. But like, if it's only like, I don't know, $50 for those little, like the EV parking signs that we have that say like no overnight parking 4 hours only or whatever, like that size sign, but like with a pretty butterfly graphic and a website on it or something like that. Do you know how much those cost? Did you go? Well,
I do not offhand, but there's also, you can look at alternatives for like a carbon board. Less fading, they last a little longer. The Bobolink signs were made out of that, the carbon.
Okay. Maybe I'll go look at those. Because yeah, I was thinking that might be a little better than the lawn signs that you kind of like push in, because if somebody was really unhappy, they could just pull them out. Or if they like them a whole lot, they could pull them out and take them home. I mean, it could be either.
Yeah. Yep, that you can get, different style signs. I mean, the carbon ones seem to hold up. They don't fade. And they actually hold up pretty well.
Okay, so I'll look at those ones too.
Okay.
Thanks, Ray.
Yep.
All right, Laura, so we'll hear more back on that through, whatever the next committee meeting or whenever you're ready to discuss it further. But I did go through Ashok's presentation. It was quite extensive. It's good. You got some great people, working on this project. So it's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, our CIC meeting is tomorrow night. And so like we'll take a look at it collectively and kind of maybe get ourselves to a place and redole out some of the work and then, bring it back together. I'm on vacation next week, so it probably won't be until at least the week after that we have a new proposal for you guys to look at.
Well, have a great vacation. And and you do have some workers on that crew, so that's great.
They do. I mean, they did most of that work. Yep.
All right. Thanks, Laura. Anybody have anything else? Good morning, Taylor. Hi, Taylor.
Taylor, say hi.
Hi, Taylor. All right. All right. If no one has any further business, we will move to adjourn. But before that, I just want to announce our next October meeting will be October 7th at 8 a.m. And if there's nothing further, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? Lori, second. All right, all in favor? Anybody opposed? Of course not. So we're adjourned. Everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye.